The Murmillo was one of the most common and heavily armed gladiators in ancient Rome. He carried the classic Roman gladiator short sword and a large rectangular scutum shield, the same equipment used by legionary soldiers. His left leg was protected by a short glaive, his sword arm by a padded manica, and he wore a broad-rimmed bronze helmet topped with a high crest decorated with a stylized fish, the Murmillo symbol. The fish motif gave him his name. Murmillo literally means fish man. The Retiarius was a Roman gladiator type armed with a weighted net, a trident, and a dagger. His opponents were usually the heavily armored Murmillo or Secutor. His tactic was to throw the net to entangle the enemy's arm or legs, then strike with the trident from a safe distance. If the net missed, the Retiarius had almost no defense and was extremely vulnerable. Historical records and tombstone evidence show the Retiarius had one of the highest death rates among gladiator classes. Thracian gladiators came from Balkan war captives and fought light and fast. They used a small palmular shield, thigh-high greaves, a manica on the sword arm, and a bare torso. The sica, a short curved sword 40-50 cm long, hooked around shields and struck armor gaps. A Pugio dagger backed it up. They crouched low, relied on speed, and targeted necks, armpits, and legs. Most often they faced the heavily armored Murmillo in a classic speed versus power duel. In the early and middle empire, the Thracian ranked among the arena's most popular fighters. Did you know the very first type of Roman gladiator was the Samnite? Back in the 4th century BC, Rome crushed the fierce Samnite warriors from southern Italy. To mock their defeated enemies, the Romans dressed gladiators in Samnite gear and threw them into the arena. Heavily armored with a massive rectangular scutum shield, a deadly gladiator short sword, a glaive on one leg, arm guard, and a plumed helmet with visor for that intimidating look. The Samnite was the original heavy fighter, the blueprint for later types like the Murmillo. But once Samnites became Roman allies under Augustus, poof, the type vanished, no more mocking old friends. The Hoplomachus was a Roman gladiator styled after the Greek hoplite. He wore a brimmed helmet with plume, manica arm guard on the right arm, loincloth, quilted leg wrappings, and high greaves on both legs. His weapons included a spear for thrusting, a small round shield, a gladiator sword, and often a dagger. He primarily fought the heavily armored Murmillo, using reach and mobility against the opponent's large shield and sword. The Provocator was a heavily armored Roman gladiator, closely resembling a legionary soldier in equipment and style. He wore a smooth visored helmet without brim or crest, sometimes adorned with side feathers, a manica arm guard on the right arm, a single glaive on the left leg, a broad belt with loincloth, and a distinctive breastplate rectangular or crescent-shaped protecting the chest. Armed with a gladiator's short sword and a tall rectangular shield, he fought in close quarters combat. Provocators were typically matched only against each other, creating balanced duels that tested skill, stamina, and technique.